Hi everyone, welcome to the second webinar of a series of webinars conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming strategic case study examinations happening in November 2023 and February 2024. And in this session, I will be conducting a Preseen analysis, and my name is Nick. I'm the lead tutor and evaluator for SCS at TCS. So let's look at which areas are covered in tonight's session. So first things first, I will be giving you certain tips pertaining to how you need to apply knowledge gain from the pre-scene when developing your answers. I highlighted the fact that you are supposed to play the role of a senior finance manager. I mentioned these things in the first webinar. So as a senior finance manager, when arriving at decisions, you need to have something called an outside-in approach, especially given the fact that you are reporting directly to the board members. So you need to understand about how your decisions are going to affect the external dynamics of the company. And on top of that, you need to be aware about the internal dynamics of the company. Whenever you are making or providing recommendations, your recommendations need to be aligned with the internal dynamics of the company. So as a senior finance manager, when developing answers, you have to definitely bring in information from the pre-scene. So I will be providing certain tips pertaining to how to do this in an appropriate manner. And I will discuss these tips further in the third webinar, where I will be taking you through or teaching you answering and time management techniques. And in the second part of tonight's webinar, I will be talking about the industry dynamics based on real life industry dynamics, so that you are in a position to better understand about the industry as well as the chosen company on which this time's pre-scene is based. And in the third part of tonight's session, I will be taking you through the pre-scene analysis. There are, three videos in total. Out of the three, I will be conducting the first part of the pre-scene analysis as part of this webinar. And let me, before we get into the nitty-gritties, let me remind you about the upcoming webinars and workshops which we have scheduled. And mind you, all these workshops and webinars are conducted free of charge. So the next or the upcoming webinar is happening on the 14th of October, where, as I highlighted earlier, I will be taking you through or teaching you answering and time management technique, which are essential to pass your SCS exam. If you're coming through the study system, and if you had already done your OCS and MCS exams, you'd understand what I'm talking about. Because if you run out of time at your real exam, chances of you passing is extremely low. And with the intention of structuring your answers appropriately and improving the quality of your answers significantly, you need to learn this answering technique. Just learning the technique won't help you. Whenever you are attempting the mock exams, you need to keep practicing this, so you are in a position to champion the answering and time management techniques. If you champion it, you'd be able to implement them at your real exam, thereby passing your exam in the first sitting itself. And in the fourth webinar, I will be talking about what you need to do when it comes to developing confidence, both before the exam and whilst and maintaining the same level of confidence whilst attempting your real exam. And on top of that, I will also highlight I will also take you through comments made by the examiner, so that you are in a position to understand what is expected out of you. And there might be students, so, by this time you would have gotten your results for the previous sitting. So if you had failed the exam, I will be talking about what you need to improve upon, or the type of inefficiencies you need to avoid to be in a position to pass the exam in your next sitting. So all these things are covered under the upcoming webinars, and we are conducting 2 workshops as well, which are Q&A sessions. And according to the study plan, which I explained in the first webinar, your study plan spans across 7 weeks. So by the time you arrive at this first workshop, you should be done with mock 4, or at least mock number 3. And by that time, you definitely have questions pertaining to your answering techniques, time management techniques, as well as theoretical elements. So all these things can be raised at the first workshop, and the final workshop happens a week before the exam, where I will be bringing the session to an end, and at the same time, I will be conducting a session where I'll explain how to maintain a high level of confidence, because if that is the case, your chances of passing the exam is extremely high. Okay, so having said that, let's get into the technicalities pertaining to tonight's session. So pre-scene application, what is the right approach? So as I said, when providing recommendations and developing answers, it's a must at this stage that you bring in information from the pre-scene. And when you do it, you need to make sure that you achieve the required level of quality. Just because you bring in information which are irrelevant to the scenario, you are not going to get marks. Actually speaking, if you just bring in information with the intention of showing to the examiner that you have gone through the pre-scene, you'd actually end up losing marks. So whenever you are bringing in information, you need to ensure that it adds value to your answer or the quality improves. So first things first, if you have to do this successfully, you need to know your key information. So for example, Robobryce, that's the name of the company on which this time's Preseen is based. So Robobryce manufactures autonomous and non-autonomous devices and services focused on warehouse optimization. So, this highlights one of the internal dynamics of the company. So likewise, you need to understand key information. If not, you won't pass this examination. So with the intention of ensuring that you have or grasp an appropriate level of understanding about the information provided in the pre-scene, we have developed something called the annotated pre-scene. So you'd see this in a while, because I will be conducting the pre-scene analysis based on the annotated pre-scene. So if you go through the annotations, you'd understand that it's a good summary. It makes your life easy when it comes to studying the dynamics which are highlighted within the pre-scene document. And on top of that, we have gone a step further, and we will be releasing some TikTok videos in another 1.5 weeks time. And if you watch these 3 TikTok videos, you'd constantly keep reminding yourself about the most important points which are highlighted within the pre-scene. So these 3 TikTok videos, which spans across something like 9 minutes, is a good mind map. So when it is released, I'll keep you guys informed via the WhatsApp group. I want you guys to watch it on a daily basis, so that you keep reminding yourself constantly about the most important points, and these points can be replicated within your answers with the intention of improving the quality significantly. And you need to understand the numbers, because if you I hope you would have already gone through the pre-scene document, and towards the end, financial or the financial statements of Robobryce and its closest competitor are provided. So based on it, you need to conduct a ratio analysis. If you purchase our products, you need not do that actually, because we actually do it for you. However, if you are preparing on your own, you need to conduct your own ratio analysis. You need to understand what's replicated or depicted rather within the SOPL, SOFP, and statement of changes in equity, because as a senior finance manager, you need to know your numbers. If not, you won't come up with appropriate recommendations which makes financial sense. This is extremely relevant, especially considering investment options, because whenever we are pursuing an investment, we need to look at the financing which we are supposed to opt to. So if you do not know what the gearing ratio of the company is, you are not in a position to accurately recommend whether the company needs to go for debt or equity. Okay, so all these things need to be looked into, and these are covered under our financial analysis slides. And you are supposed to prepare for possible scenarios, but be open-minded. So what we are doing is via the annotated pre-scene, we have predicted the type of exam scenarios as well as syllabus content which can be tested at the exam. Although this is the case, you need to be open-minded, because especially given the fact that you are playing the role of a senior finance manager, you are directly reporting to board members, you need to be open-minded at all times. Okay, so with this in mind, we have developed the study plan, and according to the study plan, the last week before the exam or the week leading to the exam, you will be resting. And if you're relaxing a week before the exam, you can achieve the required level of open-mindedness, because at your exam, you need to think that you are actually playing the role of a senior finance manager. You need to think whether your recommendations make sense or not. You need to think that you are directly reporting to the board members. If you are actually doing it in your real lives, you'd be extremely serious about what you do. You'd double check your work, or else you'd appear to be stupid in the eyes of the directors. So you need to adhere to a similar approach. That's exactly why I want you guys to be open-minded. If that is the case, you'd come up with high quality answers. So in order to be open-minded, it's better to rest a week before the exam. And remember that the scenarios presented in the exam carries the latest information. So via the Preseen document, the examiner is giving you an indication about the industry dynamics, the internal dynamics, as well as the financial performance of the company. And throughout the Preseen, the examiner gives you an indication about what has happened within Robobryce in the past. However, at your real exam, scenarios will be developed which highlights the present dynamics, or what the company goes through at the moment, the type of opportunities at its disposal, as well as the type of threats it is facing, or the risks which the company is facing. So if you do not have a good understanding about the pre-scene, you are not in a position to tackle the real life dynamics or present dynamics of the company. So just because you know your pre-scene, you cannot pass the exam. On the other hand, if you do not know your pre-scene, you definitely cannot pass the exam. So you need to be conversant with the pre-scene. You need to attempt exam standard and pre-scene specific mock exams to be conversant with the type of questions which will be thrown at you. And you need to stick to the study plan. If you do, you'd be relaxing a week before the exam, which will lead to the required level of open-mindedness. If that is the case, you'll be fresh, your ideas will be great, your recommendations will be sound or aligned with the internal and external dynamics of Robobryce. If that is the case, you'd achieve a first time pass. All right, so when it comes to referring to pre-scene information in your answers, you are supposed to refer or cite in such a way that it adds value to your answer. So that's exactly what I told you earlier as well. Just because you bring in pre-scene information, you won't get marks. The point which you are highlighting needs to be relevant to the scenario and relevant to the logic which you are building in your answer. And do not force it in to show the marker that you have studied the pre-scene. There's absolutely no point of doing this. So in order to really understand how pre-scene information needs to be included within the answers with the intention of improving the quality of the answer, you are supposed to attend the third webinar. I've done a blunder here. The third webinar, in the third webinar, I'll be highlighting the answering technique. So whilst explaining the answering technique, I will be developing an answer plan and explaining it to you based on the mini mock, which we will be uploading over the weekend to the website. So, I will be giving you a week's time to go through the mini mock, attempt it on your own, allocate 60 minutes per task. There will be 2 tasks in the mini mock. So you need to allocate 60 minutes per task, and, give your best shot and see where you stand. And once you attend the third webinar, you'd really understand what's expected out of you. And on top of that, I will also highlight how pre-scene information needs to be brought into the answer to significantly improve the quality of your answers. And if you refer to the suggested answers and the answer plans of mock exams, again, you are in a position to figure out how pre-scene information has been brought in with the intention of improving the quality of each and every answer. And if you watch the SCS master classes, you are in a position to easily understand how information from the pre-scene should be brought in and included within your answers. All right. There's another individual joining in. Okay, right. All right, so what should be your study plan for the theoretical content, E3, F3, and P3? So if you look at the SCS exam, a higher level of prominence is provided for the E3 syllabus. And secondly, your knowledge pertaining to P3 related areas, especially with regards to risk management, will be tested. And finally, when it comes to F3, the prominence is little. Your knowledge pertaining to gearing ratios as well as different types of ratios, and on top of that, foreign exchange risk management, hedging techniques, and whatnot will be tested at your exam. So you need to know your theories, especially pertaining to the E3 syllabus, because as I told you earlier, you are directly reporting to the board members. So, if you look at the E3 syllabus in its entirety, it's full of strategy development methods and whatnot. So you need to be conversant with these things. So you have to prepare for application of theories and concepts. Just because you know your theory, it does not mean that you would come up with high quality answers. If you give a highly theoretical answer, you're not going to get marks. Okay, you need to understand how to apply theory to a given scenario. So actually speaking, at the SCS level, application skills are what is tested by the examiner. And prepare for interpretation of figures and numbers. You need not do any calculations. Instead, if there are any, the calculations will be provided, or the facts and figures will be provided as part of reference material at your exam. So you need to go through these numbers, do your own evaluations, and develop answers, thereby interpreting these figures and numbers. That's what your role is as a senior finance manager. And when going through the theoretical content, you are not supposed to skip any topic. When developing the mock exams, I'm adamant about not skipping any topic. When developing 5 mock exams, I've ensured that I cover the entire SCS syllabus, focusing on E3, P3, and F3 syllabus content. Why am I not skipping any area, especially because any area can be tested at the exam. So when preparing yourselves, you are not supposed to skip any syllabus content as well. I've seen tutors out there saying that certain concepts will not be tested at the SCS exam. If you think like that, you are gravely mistaken. And do not rely on predictions, as any area can be examined. Yes. So yeah, as I've told you in webinar number 1, the CIMA examiner is trying to replicate a real life corporate environment. So in a real life corporate environment, you cannot predict the type of problems the company might face, the type of opportunities the company is supposed to exploit. So it's better to be open-minded. So that's exactly why I said it's better to relax a week before the exam, so you achieve the required level of open-mindedness, rather than attempting mock exams, going through answer plans and whatnot during the week leading up to the exam, last week leading up to the exam. All right, so let me quickly mention about what we offer at TCS before we move on to the industry and Preseen analysis. So I'm on the SCS page. So if you're yet to check out our free content, click on this button and create a user account. And if you access the free content, you would gain access to the recorded versions of the webinars, the mini mock, its suggested answer, and its answer plan. And if you are interested in purchasing, before you purchase, check out the sample material by clicking on this button. Then you'd know the type of study material you are getting your hands on. And let me talk about the 3 packages which we are offering. So we are offering the first package which we offer is the Essentials pack, which comes with the recorded versions of the webinars, 5 mock exams with suggested answers, which covers the syllabus in its entirety, and 4 Preseen analysis videos. Actually speaking, this time there aren't 4 videos, there's 3 videos, because I combined usually I do two separate industry analysis videos, but I combine both because there wasn't too much information in this time's Preseen pertaining to industry dynamics. So there are 3 Preseen analysis videos, and this is priced at £119. So if you are a student who is coming through the CIMA general route, And if you had aced your OTQ exams without failing any of them, if you passed your OTQ exams, each of your OTQ exams in your first sitting itself, then it appears that you have the required level of discipline and commitment to prepare on your own. So if that is the case, you need not purchase any other package, simply go for the cheapest one. Okay. And talking about the value pack, it comes with all material which are covered under the essentials pack. On top of that, you'd get your hands on the annotated Preseen. You'd see what the annotated Preseen looks like in a while. And you'd also get your hands on the industry analysis cards, financial analysis cards, the top 10 likely shows, the case study familiarization kit, and the theory recaps pertaining to the OTQ syllabus content. These OTQ revision cards are extremely beneficial if you want to brush up your knowledge pertaining to E3, P3, and F3 related areas. And you'd also have access to a tutor managed live chat via Twilio, which is integrated within our website. And this is priced at £249. So if you are a student who is coming through the CIMA general route, however, when attempting OTQs, if you failed any of your OTQ exams, then it's prudent for you to go for the value pack, because you need some additional guidance and support to ensure that you gain the relevant knowledge and end up passing the exam in the first sitting itself. Then talking about the premium package, it comes with all the material which comes under the value pack. Additionally, you'd gain access to the online mock exam platform or the learning management system. So when attempting all 5 mocks, you can attempt it via our exam platform, thereby getting yourself accustomed to real exam conditions. So, take it from me, when attempting mock exams, what students would do is, there are 3 tasks and the time allocation per task is 1 hour. So rather than sitting in one place 3 hours at a stretch and attempting the entire paper, students opt to attempt each mock on a task by task basis. So a student would do task number 1 on Monday, task 2 on Tuesday, and task 3 on Wednesday. However, at the real exam, that is not the methodology which you are supposed to adhere to. Instead, you have to sit in one place and handle pressure. Just sit in one place for 3 hours and see how much pressure you'd feel. So you need to get accustomed to these things way before you face your real exam. So we have developed 5 mock exams, and each mock exam can be attempted via the exam platform. And whilst attempting each mock, you will be practicing answering and time management techniques. So in each paper, you'd get 3 tasks. So 3 tasks into 5 papers, there are 15 tasks. So by the time you are done with the 5 mocks, you would have practiced the answer planning and time management techniques 15 times over. That's enough practice for you to champion it at your real exam. So you'd never run out of time. You'd come up with high quality answers because you know how to structure your answers. And because of that, if you do that, you'd end up passing the exam comfortably in your first sitting itself. And we have developed an exam platform which is akin to the Pearson VUE system, which you'd on which you'd attempt your real exam. So it's better to attempt the 5 mock exams under exam conditions via our exam platform rather than doing it on your own. Then you'd gain access to professional marking and one-to-one tutor feedback on mocks 3, 4, and 5. So let me quickly show you the type of feedback you'd receive. So as you can see, comprehensive feedback is provided, and I myself, I'm involved with developing the mock exams, the suggested answers, the answer plans, the master classes, and whatnot. And on top of that, I will be personally providing you with feedback for your answer scripts. So throughout the answer script, on a paragraph by paragraph basis, I've provided my evaluations, and that's exactly what you can see throughout this answer script. And at the very end, marks are allocated. And I hope you'd focus on the success rate. The success rate indicates on a subtask by subtask basis whether you have been successful in gaining the required level of marks. So once you're done with the mock within 48 hours, you'd receive tutor feedback. And once you receive tutor feedback, you just need to, when it comes to brushing up your answering techniques or improving the answer structuring or the quality of your answers, you just need to focus on the subtasks in which you gained low marks, forgetting about the areas in which you have gotten enough marks by looking at the success rate. So if you look at this student had only achieved 43 marks. Why? Because the success rate was up to par only in task 1A. On all the other subtasks, the student has not gained enough marks. Okay, so you can easily understand what your shortcomings are if you opt for the premium package, which comes with tutor feedback. And at the very end, general comments are also provided, with the intention of ensuring that you significantly improve the chances of you passing the exam. And let me quickly take you through the financial analysis slides as well. So I said, we at TCS, we develop the financial analysis slides with the intention of ensuring that you prepare yourselves fully and have an in-depth understanding about what's highlighted within the financial statements. So that's exactly what you can see here. So the statement of SOPL, the statement of financial position, statement of changes in equity, all these things are evaluated, yet the evaluations are kept concise so that you can easily understand about what's highlighted within this set of slides. And at the end, ratio analysis is also conducted, and each of the ratios are evaluated in depth, yet the evaluations are kept concise so that you can easily understand what's mentioned and mention the same information when attempting your exam. All right, so that's these are the type of services you'd get your hands on if you opt for the premium package. And this comes with the monthly installment option as well as a pass guarantee. So a pass guarantee entails that let's assume you attempt your exam in November and end up failing the exam. If that is the case, you'd get access to the same material or material which comes under the premium content in your subsequent sitting, free of charge. However, in order to claim the pass guarantee, you have to fulfill these things. You have to complete all mock exams. Without attempting the 5 mocks, you can't cover the entire syllabus. So without covering the syllabus or attempting questions which covers the entire syllabus, you can't pass the exam. Take it from me. If you're planning on attempting just 2 or 3 mocks, forget about passing your exam in November. You might have to take time till February so that you have enough time to attempt 5 mock exams. Okay, and your solutions need to be original. I've seen students trying to claim the pass guarantee, saying that they attempted all 5 mock exams. All the while, what they do is closer to the exam, in the last week leading up to the exam, just to claim the pass guarantee, they'd copy and paste suggested answers. If you do, we are not giving you the pass guarantee, because you have to be serious about what you do. You cannot pass without being serious. Take it from me, this is a professional qualification. So in order to pass a professional qualification, you have to be really serious about what you are doing, and you have to meet the performance criteria. And when attempting mocks 3, 4, and 5, you have to be serious about what you do, and with the intention of forcing you guys to be serious when attempting your mock exams. We have stipulated that you need to get more than 40% on average for all 3 mocks. Why have we suggested this? Or else you just attempt the mock without being serious. You have to practice answering and time management techniques. So with that intention in mind, we have come up with these eligibility criteria. And if you have to claim it, click on this button, and then you'd have access to the pass guarantee form. All right, so this package comes at £749, but if you pay in full, you can save £50, thereby being in a position to purchase the package at £699. And all these products are available until the 28th of February 2024. So before we move on, let me remind you about, so the study plan can be found within the website itself. So let me remind you about what you're supposed to do within this week. We are in the first week of the 7-week study plan. So you have enough and more time to prepare. So within this week, you are supposed to watch the Preseen analysis videos, refer to the annotated Preseen, and refer to the financial analysis, industry analysis, and top 20 issue slides. So primarily this week is dedicated towards understanding the Preseen. And once you are done going through the Preseen and understanding it, from week number 2 onwards, on a weekly basis, you need to sit in one place, allocate 3 hours of your time, and attempt a mock per week. If you do that, by the 7th week, by the 6th week, you would be done with attempting all mocks. So the 7th week is a week before the examination. So before the examination. Sorry about that. So a week before the examination, you will be relaxing. You are referring to the answer plans of mocks 1 to 5, rereading the annotated Preseen, and attending the final Q&A. So those are the only tasks which you're supposed to do a week before the exam. You can only achieve this if you stick to the study plan, and I hope you'd be serious and you'd stick to the study plan. If not, you cannot pass this exam. So students who stick to the exam end up getting more than 100 marks. We have already developed 2 individuals. One of them got the 4th rank in his country, and the other the 5th rank. Okay, so if you adhere to the study plan, you can easily pass the exam and score more than 100 marks, and you might be eligible for national prize or a country prize as well. And if you're yet to be part of the SCS WhatsApp group, simply click on this button and join it. All right, so having said that, it brings us to the last part of tonight's webinar, which is about taking you through the through an industry analysis, and later on moving on to the Preseen analysis. So I'm not going to take you through this set of slides in its entirety. Instead, I'm just going to focus on the most important points, and this industry analysis slide is included as part of the paid content. All right, so our industry analysis slides covers 4 main areas. First things first, an overview into the industry is provided, thereby explaining the definition and the technicalities behind the industry. Then in the second part, we have conducted an analysis pertaining to the competitive landscape. In the third part, industry trends are highlighted, and in the fourth and final part, information pertaining to 2 real-life companies are provided, with the intention of ensuring that you easily understand what happens within this industry in a practical sense. All right, so first things first, let's take you through the market definition. So this time's industry is the automated material handling equipment industry. Okay, so this has everything to do with automation when it comes to handling material. So if you are to automate your, so we are thinking about warehouse solutions in this industry. So if you are to automate your warehouse, you need to utilize certain equipment. So Robobryce is involved with manufacturing the required equipment which are utilized within warehouses. That's what you need to understand. So give me a second, please, guys. I hope you guys can keep your mics on mute so that it won't disturb anyone else. Okay, so as you can see via these pictures, you can see robots being used within warehouses, as well as different types of delivery mechanisms being utilized. So these type of items are manufactured by Robobryce. Okay, so this automated material handling equipment industry encompasses the range of automated machinery and systems designed for material handling and storage in warehouses. So as I told you earlier, this industry has everything to do with warehouses as well as storage. This industry is built with the intention of optimizing warehouse operations. So how do we optimize warehouse operations? by having automated machines within them rather than having employees to move around stocks or inventories. It's much more prudent and efficient and safe to have automated machines. So Robobryce is involved with manufacturing these machines, not just machines. We need systems in place as well, because if these machines are to function properly, they need to be linked with centralized or decentralized systems. We need to utilize software, and on top of that, um, warehouse management systems needs to be utilized. So we need to be considerate about the systems as well. And Robobryce is involved with not just manufacturing these automated machinery, they are involved with developing systems and providing additional services to customers as well. You'd understand these things better when I take you through the Preseen document. And these type of services are offered to warehouses, manufacturing plants, and distribution centers, seeking to enhance efficiency, speed, and operations within warehouses. So the main objective of utilizing these technologies within warehouses is to increase the efficiency and the speed of warehouse operations. That's what you need to remember. All right. So talking about the main activities which occur within these type of warehouses, you'd see automated storage and retrieval systems. So when it comes to storing goods, you need to have a certain system in place. You can't do it in a haphazard manner. If that is the case, it leads to inefficiencies, because employees will have to run around the warehouse to figure out where the stocks are. So in order to do it in a process oriented manner, when it comes to storing as well as retrieving stocks, ASRS systems or automated storage and retrieval systems are utilized by companies. And on top of that, you'd see a lot of AGVs or automated guided vehicles as well as robotics being used within modern day warehouses. So this image depicts an AGV or an automated guided vehicle, which acts as a forklift. And on top of that, the second picture shows robot arm being used within warehouse operations. So robotics as well as AGVs are heavily utilized in modern day warehouses with the intention of achieving the required level of efficiency. And conveyor and sortation systems are also there with the intention of ensuring that you stock the inventories in an appropriate location in the most efficient manner. And on top of that, in order to ensure that these AGVs, robots, and ASRSs work without any hiccups, software solutions are needed. And um, these companies which manufacture these type of automated vehicles, storage systems, as well as information systems are also involved with warehouse design related activities. So if you consider Robobryce, they are involved with all these activities. So this information gives us an indication about the real life dynamics. So that's exactly similar information is replicated within your Preseen document. And what are the goals of these service providers? They try to enhance efficiency of warehouse management activities, because as I told you earlier, rather than employees carrying out all these activities, it is extremely beneficial to have these autonomous and non-autonomous devices as well as systems in place. And the emphasis of these service providers is with regards to innovation. There's intense competition between companies such as Robobryce. If you look at the real life industry dynamics, there's intense competition. Why? Because each company is trying to increase their competitive advantage, mainly focusing on improving efficiency. So they spend a lot of money on research and development. That's exactly what you can see within Robobryce as well. And there's a lot of customization occurring, because different entities have different sized warehouses. Warehouses usually span from 1,000 meters to something like 95,000 square meters. So that's a huge warehouse. So when the warehouse is large, it significantly increases complexity. If you consider a large warehouse, you need something like 1,000 odd employees working in it, and you'd have autonomous as well as semi-autonomous vehicles or devices being operational within the warehouse. You might find something called a cobot as well, collaborative robots. I will explain these things later on. So, with all these things, depending on the complexity and the size of the warehouse, customers are increasingly asking for customized or bespoke solutions. So, expect questions in these areas. And another goal is to deliver exceptional customer service. So, when delivering customer service, there are separate, departments which looks into customer support, especially because, if these devices cannot work without appropriate software in place. Just because you have the software and the devices, it won't it doesn't mean that your operations will significantly improve. Instead, you have to ensure that these systems are aligned with the warehouse management systems used within each and every client. So when it comes to these integration processes, the clients are not too aware about these things. When it comes to designing their warehouses, clients are clueless about these things. That's where customer support and exceptional customer service comes into play. So all these things are the main nitty-gritties if you look at this industry on which this times Preseen is based on. Okay, then having said that, let me quickly move on to the trends. Then I'll move on to the Preseen document, thereby highlighting the internal dynamics of Robobryce. So looking at the trends which affects the industry in a real sense, there's increased automation and robotics. So most of these warehouse service providers, they are in the process of adopting automation. And if you look at the front runners within the industry, they are hell-bent about improving automation or improving innovative solutions as much as possible. So robots are used, especially when providing services to customers. And on top of that, when manufacturing autonomous or non-autonomous, warehouse vehicles, when you consider the manufacturing processes adopted by major players within this industry, they have robots handling manufacturing and assembly operations. And there's a lot of IoT, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and machine learning occurring. You need IoT to link different types of devices. So within a warehouse, you might find hundreds and thousands of different types of devices being utilized. So it's better if you can link up all these devices, or else they'd start working on their own, which might lead to accidents and whatnot. All these things are highlighted within the first Preseen analysis video, which you can find under the paid content, where I've explained how what type of accidents can occur and how to avoid these type of accidents within this industry. So IoT can be utilized, artificial intelligence as well as machine learning are significantly used within this industry. And the growth for this industry is driven mainly by the growth of e-commerce. So with the growth of online shopping, warehouse operations, or companies which have their own warehouses were forced to increase efficiency, because customers are asking for instantaneous delivery, same day delivery. Be it an international customer, everybody is asking for same day delivery. So in order to process a same day delivery, you need to have appropriate technologies in place. So that's exactly why this industry has adopted automation, as well as adopted different types of systems with the intention of servicing the customers in an accurate and efficient manner. And there's sustainability focus as well. You'd understand what these things are once you go through this set of slides. Towards the end, I've provided examples of 2 real-life companies, and once you go through this information, you'd understand what I'm talking about. Then, as I told you earlier, customers are asking for increased levels of customization, and there's a lot of cobots being used, collaborative robots, or these are machines or robots which work hand in hand with human beings, hence the term collaborative robots. So cobots are in use, and there are advanced software solutions being provided with the intention of integrating all these different types of devices, different types of vehicles, as well as the warehouse management systems utilized by each and every client. And safety and security is a concern, especially pertaining to ensuring safety and security of the workers who work within warehouses, as well as securing the assets, or mainly the vehicles, autonomous vehicles used, as well as the stocks which are managed within warehouses. And blockchain technology is also used to secure transactions, as well as to track assets pertaining to movements which occur within the warehouse. All right, so I've highlighted the most important points when it comes to understanding the industry dynamics. So having done that, let's move on to discuss the internal dynamics of Robobryce. Okay, so Robobryce is one of the world's largest manufacturers of automated warehouse systems. So I spoke about warehouse automation and the benefits gained by it. So this is a front runner within this industry, and this is a global player. So Robobryce is not only involved with selling their products and services to customers in Thailand. Instead, they are involved with selling their products and services to international clients as well. So that makes this company one of the largest manufacturers of automated warehouse systems. And the company is also involved with designing warehouse solutions in a global scale. So I said customers will ask for customized warehouse solutions. So we are involved with provision of these type of services, and we are supplying hardware and software needed for warehouse solutions as well. So I said we need, in order to increase the efficiency of a warehouse, you need automated devices such as vehicles and whatnot, forklifts, non-automated vehicles such as forklifts. All these things are needed, and on top of that, we need systems in place to integrate all these devices and machines and vehicles. So we are providing both software solutions as well as hardware solutions. And the company adopts an innovative approach to product development, thus producing highly adaptable and configurable shelves with special fittings. So, part and parcel of industry dynamics is with regards to manufacturing shelving units, because you need to have racks, shelves, and whatnot within a warehouse. These things are covered in the first, Preseen analysis video, which can be accessed via the paid content. Then you'd understand what I'm talking about. So this company is involved with not only manufacturing autonomous and non-autonomous vehicles. Instead, this company is also involved with manufacturing shelving units, which are adaptable, configurable, and which carries special fittings. And on top of that, the company is involved with manufacturing different types of forklifts. They are manufacturing conventional forklifts, high reach forklifts, and narrow aisle forklifts. You'd understand what these narrow aisle forklifts are if you go through the first video, in which I've highlighted the industry dynamics as per the information provided within this Preseen document. And on top of that, Robobryce works closely with clients, advising them on warehouse design. So I said, when taking you through the real life industry dynamics, I said that these service providers not only provide different types of systems and vehicles or devices to manage warehouse operations, they are involved with warehouse design aspects as well. So that's exactly what you can see within this company. So looking at the history, the company was established 71 years ago, which is a significant strength, because when you have operated within a certain industry for 7 decades, you know what happens within the industry, and you'd have enough and more knowledge to control the industry on your own. Okay. And the company was quoted on the Tesla stock market 52 years ago. Again, a significant strength. If you are a quoted company, then it leads to greater reputation. So that's exactly what you can see within this company, which is a strength of the company. And initial production took place in Tesla factory. So 71 years ago, when Robobryce started its manufacturing operations, they were primarily concerned with conducting manufacturing operations within Tesla from their manufacturing facility. And later on, by 2005, they started they introduced the first autonomous product in 2005. And this autonomous product was high in demand, and demand grew until the year 2008. And in 2008, these guys totally changed their manufacturing operations. What did they do? They relocated production of non-autonomous products to Darland in 2008. So Darland is another country. We are based in Tesland. However, and 71 years back, when we started operations, we started manufacturing operations based in a manufacturing facility in Tesland. However, in 2008, we relocated our non-autonomous manufacturing plant to Darland, a separate country, a foreign country, and autonomous products were manufactured within Tesla. So what you need to understand is we are manufacturing via two manufacturing facilities. One manufacturing facility is located within Tesla, in which autonomous products are manufactured. When it comes to manufacturing non-autonomous products, we have moved into Darland, which is a foreign country. So let's try to figure out what happens within the factory in Darland. Darland's factory manufactures non-automated, non-autonomous products. I will highlight what these things are later on. Then you'd understand what these non-automated and non-autonomous products are. And if you look at the economy of Darland, the country has a weak economy. Because of that, generally low wages are paid relative to what we pay our employees in Tesland. So the wages paid are low because of the dire economic situation in Darland. Although that is the case, Darland produces academics, because their higher education system is highly standardized. And because of that, our company is in a position to easily recruit knowledgeable individuals as and when needed, however, at a low salary. So we are benefiting in two ways. We have access to knowledgeable individuals. We can recruit them easily. And on top of that, our costs of operating within Darland is extremely low, mainly because of the low labor charges. And looking at what happens within Tesland factory is dedicated towards manufacturing high precision autonomous equipment. So what is manufactured within Darland is totally different to what we manufacture in Tesland. So in Darland, we are manufacturing non-automated, non-autonomous products. However, in Tesland, we are manufacturing high precision autonomous equipment. So when manufacturing high precision autonomous equipment, we have to make sure that we do it in the most efficient and accurate manner. Because of that, we are using robots for manufacturing and assembly operations. So we are involved with manufacturing robots which are used for warehouse operations. And within our own manufacturing facility, in order to manufacture these autonomous vehicles, we utilize robots for manufacturing and assembly operations. And if you look at the staff members, there are 12,000 staff members in total who are involved with manufacturing operations, and 7,000 of them are based in Darland, and 5,000 of them are based in Tesland. So based on all this information, I've predicted a possible exam scenario which can be thrown at you at the exam. You might have to recommend or come up with recommendations to overcome ethical issues in relation to carrying out operations in Darland, especially given the fact that it's mentioned that we are paying low wages to these individuals who are involved with operations within Darland. So if we are to run the business in an ethical manner, we need to pay above industry average salaries. So when developing your answers, if a certain scenario such as this is thrown at you, you have to make sure that you mention this point in order to operate in an ethical manner, although the industry average wages are low, we have to pay above industry salaries in order to be ethical when operating within this country. And also we need to ensure the health and safety related needs of these employees. We have to ensure that usually in a developing country, you actually don't consider, companies do not give a high level of prominence for health and safety, but we should not adhere to such a scenario. Instead, we have to ensure that we fulfill the health and safety needs of our employees who are working within Darlan factory. And you might also examine, there might be a scenario where you are expected to recommend controls with relation to upholding health and safety within the workplace, and uphold efficiency, especially pertaining to manufacturing operations which occur within Darlan. So I've, when developing the mock exams, I've covered all these areas. And if you go through them, you'd understand what type of questions will be thrown at you at the real exam. All right, so let's look at the products and services offered by the company. So we offer a wide range of products aimed at warehouse operations. And when it comes to manufacturing, as I told you earlier, manufacturing operations occur within two factories. So let's try to figure out the type of products which are manufactured within the two factories. So within Darlan's factory, forklift trucks, hand trucks, and shelving units are manufactured. So these are non-autonomous, products. In order to drive forklift trucks and hand trucks, you need, human beings. So these are not considered as autonomous vehicles. Instead, these are known as non-autonomous vehicles. And shelving unit is not a vehicle. It's something which you utilize to stack your inventories. And if you look at Teslan's operations, horizontal carousels, vertical carousels, and mobile robots are manufactured within this manufacturing arm. So when it comes to mobile robots, we are involved with producing AGVs and AMRs. If you go through the first industry analysis video, which comes under the paid content, you'd understand what these AGVs and AMRs are. If we have time, I'll simply explain what these things are later on. And we are also involved with manufacturing G2P and R2G robots. Again, you'd understand what these things are if you go through the first video, which comes under the paid content. So all in all, what you need to remember is we are involved with manufacturing robots which are utilized within warehouse operations. So Robobryce's mobile robots are the most advanced in the market. So this is a significant strength enjoyed by the company. And this drives competitive advantage. That's exactly why we are selling to international clients, especially given the fact that our robots are considered to be the most advanced within the market. So higher the innovativeness, higher the efficiency, and this leads to increased levels of customer satisfaction. So that's what you need to remember. So as I told you earlier, Robobryce is not only engaged with manufacturing products, they are also engaged with providing services. So what type of services are they providing? They are providing consulting support. Since the company is involved with designing and installing warehouse systems, it employs 800 business advisors with the prime intention of helping customers. And we provide this support on an ongoing basis. So what type of help are we providing? We help customers when it comes to integrating autonomous devices with their warehouse management systems. So as I told you earlier, just because you have robots within the warehouse, you cannot ensure functionality. So in order to ensure functionality, in order to ensure that these robots are working without any hiccups, you need to link it up with a warehouse management system. That's the only way to keep track of the efficiency of the robots. And that's the only way to avoid unnecessary accidents within the warehouse. Okay. So with the intention of helping customers or clients integrate the autonomous devices which we produce with their own warehouse management systems, we have 800 business advisors. So this shows how customer centered we are. We are not only selling autonomous or non-autonomous delivery devices. We are not only providing warehouse design aspects. We are not only manufacturing shelving units. We are also concerned about providing customer support, helping them integrate or create a link between their warehouse management system and the different devices which we sell to them, so that we ensure that the customers end up fulfilling all their requirements in a comfortable manner. So you'd understand these things better when I take you through the mission and vision statement of the company. And we are also involved with carrying out research and development activities. So we have a research lab which employs 900 staff members. So this shows how significant and serious we are about research and development initiatives. Having 900 staff members working on research and development is a big thing. You don't find this type of investments being done on research and development when you consider other industries. So you can see how serious the company is about being innovative in the eyes of customers. So there are 300 mechanical engineers, 300 electrical engineers, and 300 software engineers working within this R&D department. So the mechanical and electrical engineers are involved with manufacturing these autonomous vehicles and devices, and the software engineers are involved with developing software which helps integrate these different types of devices with the WMSs or warehouse management systems utilized by our clients. And when it comes to carrying out research and development initiatives, the focuses are multiple. So we are focused on improving the precision and capacity of autonomous products which we sell, because if that is the case, then our customers will be satisfied. And we are also focused on reducing damages to inventory, especially when it comes to human beings being involved with warehouse operations. There's so much space for accidents, unnecessary inventories getting damaged unnecessarily and whatnot. All these things can be avoided if you go for automation, high quality automation within warehouses. And that's what we are trying to achieve. And we are also trying to improve battery and charging efficiency of the devices which we sell. So if a certain robot needs to be charged for 10 hours at a stretch, it leads to idle time. Rather than doing that, if we can charge the same robot within 2 hours, then you can utilize the robot for the remaining 8 hours, which leads to increased levels of efficiency. So that's what we are trying to achieve as a company. And our R&D initiatives are focused on improving capacity and reliability via upgrading hardware and software which we provide to our clients. And we are also focused on maintaining software in order to improve integration with WMSs or warehouse management systems utilized by our clients. So based on all this information, what I can say is that Robobryce has significant strengths which drives competitive advantage. So according to Porter's generic strategy, the company is adopting a differentiation strategy. So any company which adheres to a differentiation strategy focuses on standing out of competition by achieving utmost levels of quality. That's exactly what this company is up to. That's exactly why they are spending a lot of money on innovation. That's why they have 900 staff members within the R&D department and 800 staff members who are focused on providing support to customers. And the company has been exploiting opportunities since inception, and the company is tech savvy. Why am I saying it? Because they have adopted automation within their manufacturing and assembly operations, and these are the same type of solutions which they offer to global clients. So the type of areas or knowledge areas which can be tested based on all this information is your knowledge pertaining to Porter's generic strategy, which is covered under the E3 syllabus. Porter's diamond, because we have to be conversant with the related and supporting industries. So this company cannot work in isolation. Instead, it needs to rely on different types of connected companies So, the quality of what we produce is reliant upon the type of components as well as material which we get from our suppliers in order to manufacture these devices. And we rely on third-party IT service providers, especially when it comes to integrating our manufactured which we sorry the devices which we have manufactured with the WMSs used by our clients. So likewise, we have to be conversant about how these related and supporting industries are affecting the way in which we run our business. Definitely, since we are dealing with a lot of stakeholders, we have a manufacturing facility in another country, in an underdeveloped country. We are selling to a global clientele. So in such an environment, we'd be rubbing shoulders with a multitude of stakeholders. If that is the case, you need to be conversant about how to manage each and every stakeholder in an appropriate manner. So your knowledge pertaining to the Mendelov matrix will definitely be tested at your exam. And since this is an innovative industry, and as per the industry dynamics highlighted within the Preseen, there's significant growth expected within the industry, especially fueled by the growth of e-commerce or e-commerce based retailers. So with that, the company will definitely face a lot of changes, which exposes the company to resistance to change. And if that is the case, you have to come up with recommendations to manage change in an appropriate manner. And with change comes risk and uncertainty. So you'd have to come up with or recommend ways to mitigate different types of risks and uncertainties. And on top of that, your knowledge pertaining to data security and privacy will definitely be tested. We are linking up our systems with that of our customers, and there's a lot of data sharing between us and the clients. So in such an environment, our systems are prone to IT and IS related risks. So I expect to provide answers in these areas. You need not worry about any of these areas because these are covered within the mock exams. And if you attempt them under real, exam conditions, and if you go through our answer plans, you'd know the type of answers or recommendations you are supposed to provide. And long-term funding options, knowledge pertaining to long-term funding options will definitely be tested. So you'd have to recommend whether the company can opt for debt, or whether the company is supposed to go for equity when going for an investment, or finding money to fund an investment. All right, so let me quickly take you through the vision, mission, and the value statement of the company. Then I'll, skip to the risk report, and I'm not going to take you through the risk report in its entirety. Instead, I'm going to just focus on a couple of areas. All right, so the mission statement of any given company gives us an indication about the reason for being of a company, or addresses the question, why do we exist? So the mission statement of a company stipulates the reason behind the existence of any given company. So why, what's the mission statement of Robobryce, and or what's the reason for being of Robobryce? They pursue growth. So as per the industry dynamics which are highlighted within this Preseen, the industry is supposed to grow exponentially into the future. So with that, the company is focused on growing as well. So this mission, this part of the mission is aligned with the industry dynamics. So this is an extremely good thing to have as your mission statement. When the industry is growing, the company is focused or hell-bent about growing as well. And the company also believes in advancing social well-being. So when it comes to advancing social well-being, we are not only thinking about our clients, we should also think about the different types of stakeholders who are dealing with us, our suppliers, our own employees, not just the employees within Tesla's factory, but the employees in Darland. We have to, especially when it comes to operations in Darland, we have to ensure that we treat these employees in the most ethical manner. And on top of that, we have to think about the needs of clients and the end customers who utilize the services offered by our own clients. So the end customers of our clients, their needs should be considered as well when conducting business. And on a general sense, we have to think about the well-being of the general public as well. So that's a far-reaching mission statement, which indicates that the company is focused on growing, and on top of that, fulfilling needs of the society. Then looking at the vision statement gives us an indication about the future of the company. So the vision is to enhance efficiency of customers. So at the moment we are offering efficiency to our customers, and into the future we are planning to provide the same level of efficiency, which is good. And again, the societal aspect comes in the future. We are planning to add value to society. So as part of the mission statement, we are saying that we are planning to advance social well-being. And as part of the vision statement, we are reflecting a similar approach where we are focused on adding value to society. Then looking at the values of the company, this gives us an indication about what's thought to be right and wrong, or gives us an indication about the culture of the organization. So again, social well-being comes into the picture. The company believes in enhancing social well-being and improving the quality of life. So again, employees, the quality of life of employees, our customers, our clients, end consumers, our suppliers, the general public, all these different stakeholders come into the picture. And we are hell-bent about meeting stakeholder needs and be at the forefront of innovation, because if we are at the forefront of innovation, we are in a position to achieve our mission and our vision. So overall analysis is you'd have to analyze stakeholders based on the level of power and interest as per the Menlo matrix. And since the social well-being is concerned, your knowledge pertaining to GRI, or the Global Reporting Initiative, as well as integrated reporting, which are covered under the F3 syllabus, will be tested. Absolutely nothing to worry. These areas are covered within our 5 mock exams. And based on this information, the type of exam scenarios which can be thrown at you are with regards to recommending internal controls. So as a senior finance manager, you need to be conversant with internal controls. You should be ready to recommend internal controls with the intention of ensuring that the internal operations within the company occur without any hiccups. So be ready to recommend internal controls pertaining to achieving sustainability, improving efficiency, managing stakeholders, improving the quality of product or service delivery, ensuring health and safety at work, as well as controls pertaining to the overall risk management initiatives of the company will also be tested at your exam. Again, these areas are covered within our mock exam. So if you attempt our mock exams on a weekly basis, you will definitely pass the exam in your first sitting. So let me quickly take you through the risk report. I'm not gonna, as I told you earlier, I'm not gonna take you through this risk report in its entirety. Instead, I'm just gonna focus on 2 or 3 major points. So as you can see, the examiner is providing you with the risk report with the intention of ensuring that you evaluate the risk report and identify whether the risk mitigatory action adhered to by the company is appropriate or not. So since I do not have enough space to provide annotations to evaluate each of these risk mitigatory actions the company is planning to take, I've added 5 more pages to the Preseen document, which indicates each and every risk. What I've done is I've highlighted the issue, I've highlighted the mitigatory action adopted by the company, and at the end, I've mentioned mitigatory action or improvements which are needed to the mitigatory action provided. So if you go through these improvements, your P3 related knowledge pertaining to risk management is covered. So the examiner gives you the risk report with the intention of throwing questions at you which are based on the risk report. So if you go through these suggestions which I've made, then you need not worry about the risk report, because all the recommendations are highlighted in here. So it's just a matter of remembering or understanding and remembering these recommendations and highlighting them within your answers. So let me yeah. So reason number 3, company is exposed to international business because given the fact that we are selling to a global crowd or a global clientele, and on top of that we are conducting operations within a foreign country. So the issue is conducting business internationally exposes Robobryce to currency fluctuations, geopolitical risks, and various compliance and regulatory challenges impacting financial performance and operational efficiency. So the company had identified, given the fact that we are involved with international operations, we are exposed to 3 different types of risks. What are these risks? We are exposed to currency fluctuations. Give me a second, please, guys. Yeah, okay. So we are exposed to currency fluctuations, geopolitical risks, and compliance and regulatory challenges. So 3 main type of risks are identified under the 3rd type of risk. Let's try to figure out whether the company has addressed all these 3 types of risks when developing their risk mitigatory action. So the current mitigatory action is Robobryce hedges currency risks, focusing on managing economic and transaction risk. So they have identified 3 different risks, but when it comes to developing mitigatory action, they have only focused on one. So as I highlighted earlier, these 3 risks are risks pertaining to currency fluctuation. So that is how, managed, because Robobryce hedges currency risks, focusing on managing economic and transaction risks. So that is taken care of. However, when it comes to handling geopolitical and compliance and regulatory challenges, there's no indication about the type of action the company had taken. So that's a shortcoming when it comes to managing the risks within the company. So what you need to suggest with regards to enhance the mitigation in this area is to carry out a geopolitical risk assessment, especially when dealing with operations within Darland. There might be a political upheaval, and with that there might be a government might come into power which has an adverse outlook when it comes to foreign business, and they might kick us out of the country. So these type of problems can occur. So in order to avoid these situations, we have to conduct a geopolitical risk assessment. So we have to continuously monitor and assess political situations in countries of operation to anticipate and prepare for potential issues that could impact business operations. Then the second option which we can adhere to is with regards to diversification. We can consider diversifying suppliers and not relying heavily on a specific geographic region for parts and material. Because if there is some type of political upheaval and one of our suppliers are affected and they end up not having the capability to supply to us, we are stranded as a company. So in order to avoid such a situation, it's better to diversify when dealing with our suppliers. And we have to focus on compliance management as well. We have to have a robust system in place which is kept updated on various international compliance and regulatory requirements. So it's mentioned within our risk report that there's a risk created due to international compliance and regulatory requirements. So if an international law changes, we need to be conversant with it so that we are in a position to take action to adhere to these changes in laws and regulations. And it's better to go for local partnerships or seek local partnerships. If that is the case, even if the government changes or the political situation changes, it will not affect us in an adverse manner. And it's better to go for multi-currency accounts rather than only focusing on economic risk and the transaction risk. If we have a multi-currency account, then we are not actually exposed to foreign currency fluctuations or foreign currency risk. And we have to train our senior management and constantly keep them updated about international business operations, ensuring that they are equipped to manage various aspects of the business in an efficient manner, considering the different cultural, societal, political and economic situations of the countries in which we operate and sell our products. So likewise, all different types of risks have been evaluated. So if you go through the annotated Preseen, you'd gain all the necessary information pertinent to these areas. All right, so that having said that, it brings us to the end of the Preseen analysis session. I hope you guys gained something out of it. If you have any questions, you can raise them now. So I've been talking for the past 1 hour and 20 minutes. It's your time to talk. Any questions, folks? Any questions?
Hello? Hello?
Hi, Francis. How are you?
Fine. I joined late. I got caught up in traffic in Lagos, and by the time I got home, I missed most of the presentations. Is it possible to send the slide after the presentation?
Well, Francis, we will not be sharing the slides because I, consider this to be one of the most important digital assets of the company. So instead, what we do is we share the recorded versions on the website. So if you go access our website and, create a user account, thereby creating or accessing, having access to the free content, then you'd have access to the recorded version. So since you missed the webinar, I want you to go watch it from scratch so that you'd understand what was covered in tonight's session.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions, folks? Did you guys understand what happens within Robobryce as well as the external dynamics of the company? Are you aware of the type of questions which can be thrown at you and the theoretical content which will be tested? Any questions, folks? All right, a question. You are welcome, Wellington. Any concerns? Any questions? All right, seems like there aren't any questions. All right, seems like there aren't any questions. So, I'm going to move forward. So, let me remind you about our pass rate, which we achieved for the February session. We achieved a pass rate of 96%. And this individual ended up getting the all India 4th rank, got something like 110 marks if I'm not mistaken, and got the all India 4th rank, and this was achieved by sticking to a study plan. So on a weekly basis, if you keep attempting mock exams, your life becomes easy because you just need to find 3 hours of your time on a weekly basis to attempt a mock exam per week. Everything else is handled by us. So if you are coming through the exemption route, such as the FLP route, you will not have enough knowledge about theoretical elements. If that is the case, you won't know the type of how to apply these theoretical elements. So if you do not know theory, you won't know how to apply these things and develop good answers. If that is the case, you cannot pass the exam. So we are offering a set of master classes, 15 master classes in total, and in each master class, I'm explaining the logic behind each and every answer. And on top of that, whilst explaining the logic, I'm teaching you guys theory, so you need not refer to any study material to learn theory. Simply by referring to the master classes, you'll easily learn theory. And on top of that, I'll also highlight how to improve your application skills, because just because you learn your theory, you cannot pass the exam. You need to be conversant about how to apply this theoretical knowledge within your answers. So that's exactly what is covered via the master classes, which come under the premium package. So if you're coming through the exemption route, you can't simply pass your exams by attempting mock exams. You need all the additional support. You need to learn theory. You need to improve your application skills and understand the logic behind each answer. And these things are covered via the master classes. And I want you guys to check out our answer plans as well, which is a good summary of all 5 mocks. So rather than going through pages and pages of suggested answers, if you refer to the answer plan, you can easily understand the structure, the content, as well as how Preseen information had been brought in to improve the quality of the answers. So if you are interested, please go and purchase your preferred package.
Sorry. Once more, I want you to take this last statement again, because I think you're making something, a statement that is very valid and.
Them. All right, folks, thank you very much for all those questions. So if you have any more questions, you can raise them as well. So in the meantime, let me remind you about the £50 discount, which we are offering on the SCS premium package. So if you pay in full, you are in a position to save £50. And you can contact us via www.study@tcs.com or email us via info@study@tcs.com, or simply drop us a message or call us on WhatsApp via this number. And I urge you guys to follow us on our social media handles, especially the TikTok page. Go follow it, because we will be, as I highlighted earlier, we will be sharing some TikToks, which is a good a study plan, or not a study plan as per se, which is a good mind map, which covers the all the nitty-gritties which are highlighted within the Preseen in its entirety. So on a daily basis, if you keep watching these 3 videos, which goes on for something like 7 to 9 minutes, if you on a daily basis until your exam in the upcoming 7 weeks, if you keep on watching these videos, then you need not actually memorize anything. All the necessary points will be in your head. So please go and follow our TikTok page. And on top of these mind maps, I will also be uploading other TikTok videos which highlights answering and time management techniques as well. So all these things are done free of charge for your benefit. So even if you are not utilizing our paid content, that's totally fine. Make sure to make use of all these free resources which we provide. And on a weekly basis, I'll be keeping in touch with you to see how your preparations are going. Again, even if you do not purchase from us, make sure to attend the weekly webinars without fail. All right, so having said that, it brings us to the end of tonight's session. So thank you very much for joining in. I value your presence. I hope you gain something out of this, and I expect to see you guys in the 3rd webinar, where I will be taking you through the question and answer of a mini mock, and based on it, I will be teaching you answering and time management techniques. So thank you very much for joining in. Good night and take care.